Parrish, editor of the Journal of Business. We had a new paper drop today, and Mike McLean, our deputy editor, wrote a follow-up story on his big breaking news about Amazon building a large is a bit of an understatement fulfillment center on the West Plains.
Pretty massive.
Yeah. So welcome, Mike.
Well, thanks.
Mike, we have a story in today's paper about the Amazon project, and you wrote your last one about 6 weeks ago, I would say. What do we know now that we didn't know at that time?
Well, we did see there was some grading permit applications in, so we do know now that the contractor for the project is Layton Construction, based out of Sandy, Utah.
Mm-hmm.
We also know that through looking through the grading permit documents, there's some other documents that were required as part of that. So we know that their employment estimates start at 1,800 employees, and they mention a peak season of 2,400 employees in 2 months out of the year. But traffic study, the peak traffic study is based on a maximum of 3,000 employees. So there's that.
Oh, well, that's pretty interesting. At 1,800 employees, if that's what it ends up employing, how would that rank in Spokane in terms of largest employers?
Well, it would definitely be in the top 10 of Spokane's largest employers. And it would be the second largest private employer, behind only Providence Health.
Wow, fascinating. So with the Layton Construction Company, it's a somewhat familiar name in the Spokane market, even though they're based in the Salt Lake City area. Isn't that right?
Right. They've done the recent Larry H. Miller, Toyota, and Honda projects.
Yeah.
So
great.
All right.
Now, do we know anything about the timeline of the project at this point?
Yes, we do. We had an earlier indication that they were going for June through August, and they were in the documents now. They did confirm that they're hoping to start construction in June and be completed in August of 2019.
Wow, that's great. And did the scope of the project in the new documents that you found, did they stay the same?
They're pretty similar. The footprint is going to be a 4-story building. The footprint for the main processing center on the ground floor is about 640,000 square feet. And then in addition to that, there's 40,000 square foot office space that would be attached to the ground floor. And then the second, third, and fourth floors would be each 640,000 square feet of robotic processing.
Sure. And the location, of course, is the same.
Yes.
Just south of the airport, and would we say east of the Geiger Interstate 90 interchange?
Yeah, about midway between the Geiger, that interchange, and the airport, which is
Sure. And that's and so obviously that would be visible, highly visible from the from the freeway.
I believe so. Yeah.
And the air. We used the Amazon name in our story, but it hasn't appeared yet in the public record, right? And Amazon is not talking about it at this point. Can you kind of walk us through why you were confident in using the Amazon name in the story?
Well, sure. In our first story, we did hedge a little bit, and
We did.
And after that story came out, we became more confident because we heard from more than 4 people with some knowledge of the project that we were on the right track there. And
Sure.
and since we got the grading permit documents, we saw that Layton is the contractor, and they're also right now are building a similar facility in Salt Lake City. We know the developer, Trammell Crow, has worked on other fulfillment centers for Amazon in Oregon, Colorado, and California, just that we were able to easily find.
Right.
And the architect also has done some fulfillment center designs in Florida, California, and Oklahoma City.
Sure.
So, and after our first story came out, Medium OK Talks down in Oklahoma City saw our story, and they were able to confirm that the project we mentioned in our story is indeed a Amazon fulfillment center.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And then there's some cadence or consistency to the names of the projects as they're going through the permitting process, right?
Yes, ours is Project Rose.
Ours being
that's
the one
the
here in
official
Spokane,
name.
yeah.
That's the official name here in Spokane. And that Project Rose design is taken almost identically from Project Star in Oklahoma City.
Uh-huh.
We also know other project names like Project Velo in, I believe that's in Florida. Project Wildcat was Amazon just, I believe, last week confirmed
Sure.
that they're building a fulfillment center there.
Interesting.
And yeah,
Well, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see if it does end up being 18 to 2,500 jobs. We've heard some suggestions that because of the automated nature of it, it might not be that many, but it states it pretty clearly in the records that you had found.
yes, most we've seen several centers referred to as robotic fulfillment centers. All of them have more than 1,000 employees, and I believe they all have they start with 1,500 employees.
Mm-hmm.
So the name robotic and the size of the parking lot gives us some indication that the name robotic isn't really limiting the size of the employee count.
Well, that's great. So, from your perspective, what's next? What will we want to be reporting next on this project?
Well, talking with John Peterson at the County Planning and Building Department, they're anticipating that the grading permits could be improved just in a matter of days. You know, not weeks, but he said days.
Sure.
And so, and Amazon or the developer could at any point now submit a building permit. They're at that stage right now. So then I would anticipate we might hear something from Amazon not too distant future. And one reason I'm speculating that is because this project Wildcat that Amazon just confirmed last week,
Mm-hmm.
that first surfaced in the first media reports about 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so ours first, we broke it on April 12th, and so that would make 2 months would be around mid-June.
Well, it'll be great to hear what they have to say once Amazon discloses more details about the fulfillment center and what they hope to do with it here. It'll be great to learn all about that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. It's from what I'm reading on the other fulfillment centers that they're doing is this is part of a strategy that Amazon is doing to reduce delivery times, and so even for its Amazon Prime members, they might, the ones around here at least might receive their orders in a day.
Wow, fascinating, fascinating. Well, good work, Mike. Thanks a lot for doing such a solid job of reporting on this subject. It's of great interest to all of our readers and the Spokane community in general. You can check out Mike's story at SpokaneJournal.com, pick up a copy of the paper, and see what's the newest with the developing Amazon story. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon.